Hey, what's going on, guys? Sri Kanase here, and welcome to part 2 of Facebook ads. So, as you can see, I have my ads manager opened up here, and what we'll be doing is we'll be going step by step on exactly how I create my own ads, and along the way, share some tips and tricks that could possibly help you do better targeting as well. So, let's begin. So, when you create a new campaign, this is the screen that will come up, and these are all the types of events that you can use for your Facebook ads. I won't be going in depth with them, but the main ones that I use and the ones that I only use are conversions. As you can see, we have three types of events: conversions, catalog sales, and store visits. Store visits is basically just another form of traffic or engagement ad, and I tend to not use them. What I mostly use are conversions and the catalog sales. The catalog sales are used for retargeting ads, but for this tutorial we're going to be using conversions. So just click on conversions. What I like to do for the campaign name is always use the item name that I'm trying to advertise. Since, as I mentioned in my last video, and if you haven't already, be sure to check out part 1, but each campaign is designated for a new product. So for this campaign, we're going to be assuming that I'm trying to advertise a dog necklace. So what I would name this campaign is just dog necklace. Dog necklace. Click continue, and this page comes up, and this is where all the good stuff happens. So right off the bat, what I like to do is you have these two options up on top: create new ad set and create multiple new ad sets. We want to create multiple new ad sets because, as I mentioned, I like to create 10 to 20 ad sets because that gives me a higher chance of finding 1 to 2 ad sets that are really profitable. So just click on that and you'll see this. So for website, you always want to go for purchase conversion. So once that's checked, just scroll down and you will see the audience tab. This is where we choose our audiences. Now for dog necklace, since we're not too sure about what kind of people would purchase for their dogs, since people from all age groups love dogs, so in this case what we can do is we can leave the age range from to 18 to 65 plus. Now what Facebook does, and this is pretty cool, is it begins to target the exact group of audience that responds the most to your ads. So if that means that the ages of 18 to 34 respond the most to your ads, Facebook will start showing this ad to those people. Or let's say your audience is older, it's 55 to 65, then Facebook would target this ad towards those kind of people. So when you're unsure of exactly what your audience is, you are better off leaving it as default. As for the gender, again, males and females both love animals, specifically dogs, so I would just leave this as all, and we'll figure out exactly what audience likes these types of products once we start getting results. As for the location, I always choose people who live in this location. We don't want people traveling in the United States, we want people who live here. And for language, I like to leave it blank because even if you speak another language and you live in the United States, the people are more inclined to purchase if they want to purchase. The language doesn't matter as much. And again, this is in my own experience. And detailed targeting, this is where we target. Now, since we're targeting dogs, specifically dog lovers, we can start off targeting by just typing in dogs and see what comes up. So let's just type in dogs. And as you can see, we have a bunch of stuff here. I love dogs, dogs in warfare, life with dogs. These are all potential pages that we can advertise to. So to begin, I would start off with something such as Dogs World because again, it's specifically related to dogs, and I'm pretty sure this kind of page does have people who are dog lovers. So let's just click on that. And once you click on that, you'll see that it pops up here. Now, the cool thing that I do now is just click on the suggestions. And as you can see, we have a bunch of stuff related to dogs that's popped up now. And this is exactly how I do my targeting. There's no real secret to this. All you have to do is just come up with one initial interest, and then Facebook will provide you the rest. So as you can see, Dogs World, this page seems to be related to Dogs World. What I like to do is I like to stack interests that are similar to each other. So what I mean by that is these two interests are actually pages on Facebook. But as you can see here, this third one, it's called Dogs Today Magazine. It wouldn't make sense to stack websites and magazines together. And that is why we create different ad sets for these. So for one ad set, I would stack the dog pages together, and for the other, I would just stack dog magazines together. So let's do exactly that. Let's say this has 5 million audience and Dog's World has 2 million, so that's pretty good. So I love my dog. Click on suggestions again and you'll see a lot more. Dog lover, life with dogs. Let's choose life with dogs. And dog lovers club, dog lover, we love dogs. See, all these are similar to each other. And what I like to do is I like to stack 3 to 7 interests together. So these are 4. And I would usually stack 3 to 7. But sometimes what I've started testing is just stacking 1 interest. So that means I would have just have 1 interest, such as Dog's World, in this ad set. So for this one, let's see if we can find something else. Dog lovers club, dog fans. We could do dog fans. Must love dogs. Dogs are awesome. And I think this is a good amount of pages since we have 5 already. So what I like to do then is click here, which is narrow audience. I always do this. And I always narrow to engaged shoppers. And what this is exactly is, let's click on it and see. So engaged shoppers is basically people who have clicked on the call to action button, shop now, in the past week. So this means someone who has already purchased on Facebook in the past week. And what's the better way of selling something than targeting someone who has already purchased something similar to what we're trying to advertise? So this is why I always narrow down to engaged shoppers, because what I'm basically targeting here is dog fans. So basically people who love dogs and they have purchased something in the past week. There's a much higher chance that these people will purchase your products as well. So as you can see, very simple technique, and I have already finished one ad set. So now we can create up to 10 or 20 more. And this is the exact technique that I use, and for just this tutorial I'll use one more ad set. So once you have done the initial ad set, what you want to do is come down and you see add detailed targeting variation. That's what you should click. Once you click that, you'll see this detailed targeting variation 1, and then this is variation 2, which means this is a different ad set, completely different. And what I like to do then is, since we have all these dog pages over here, now we want to click suggestion and see what else is different from these initial ones. So Dogs Today magazine, as I mentioned. So what we do is we would come down and just type in Dogs Today magazine. And let's see what comes up for this one. Dogs Naturally magazine, the whole dog journal. So these are all potential magazines that we can target that are related to dogs. And this is exactly what I'll do. So let's click on Dogs Naturally magazine, Your Dog magazine, Bark magazine, American Dog, the whole dog journal. Let's do that too. American Dog magazine. So basically, again, just targeting the same kinds of interests together. And we already have 6 here, so that means this ad set is pretty much good to go. And again, we would narrow audience to engaged shoppers. And we're done. We have 2 ad sets ready. And what I would basically do is continue this process over and over until I have at least 10 to 20 ad sets. And as I mentioned, this allows you a higher chance of finding a few profitable ad sets, and also gives you a better chance of getting to know whether the product is a winner or not. Because if the product is a winner, you'll start seeing good results from day number 1. So now we have finished this. Let's scroll down. And placements, this is very important because it determines where your ads are shown. For placements, for testing, I always click on edit placements. You don't want to use automatic. Device type, again, as I mentioned in my previous videos, I do mobile only because mobile accounts for over 50% of the purchases. So mobile only, and then we want to only do it to the Facebook feeds, so just uncheck all of the other ones. So uncheck that, uncheck Instagram, audience network, Messenger. Make sure only Facebook feeds are checked, and that's done. And just scroll down. You want to leave this blank. You don't want to mess with this because this is perfect the way it is. But for video ads, nowadays I've begun testing this box over here, this check box. So whenever I have a video ad that I'm advertising, I make sure this checkbox is connected because you want to make sure that your video doesn't end up getting buffering and the person just leaves instead of watching the video, because when it's on Wi-Fi they have a higher chance of watching the entire video and the video loading as well. So definitely, again, you should try checking this box when you're doing video ads, but for photo ads I just leave this unchecked. Let's come down on optimization and delivery. Optimization for ad delivery is always conversions. We don't do any of the others. Conversions, conversion window. Now this is important and it will be different for the kind of products that you advertise. So we have four options here. One day click is basically used for products that are under $50 because you want the person to see your product on the first day and click it and purchase on the first day as well. So since this is a necklace, we would do one day click. But if you have a more expensive product, then you might want to do 7 days click or even 7 days click or one day view. But it's usually one day click for less expensive products. Bid strategy, you want to do lowest cost unless you're more experienced, and that's when you can do the target cost, which is basically called manual bidding. And one manual bidding strategy that I use is using the 3 times the CPP, which is the 3 times the cost per purchase. And if you're not experienced, don't worry about this, just leave it on lowest cost. But for those of you who are experienced, the strategy that I use is just, let's say I have a cost per purchase for this ad set of $10. Then what I would put over here is $30 because we want to use a target cost that is 3 times your cost per purchase. But for this tutorial, we're going to be using lowest cost. And now that's done, this is where the budget and schedule comes in. It honestly depends on your budget how much you want to invest into the ad sets, because if you have 10 to 20 ad sets, you might not have the budget to do $10 per day. So in that case, you would do $5 each per day. But for this one, let's just leave it at $20 because we want to do $10 per day budget. And schedule, I always start my ads at midnight. This is just a personal preference. There are many people out there that don't notice any kind of difference when they don't start it at midnight. But for me, I personally use midnight, and I use the timing of my pixel. So I would start this tonight at 12 a.m. And once that's done, just click continue. And this is where naming the ad sets. Well, how I like to name it is by basically what I targeted. So in here, we targeted dog pages. So what I would do is just put a dash and dog pages. And for the second ad set, since we targeted dog magazines, that's exactly what we would title it. Dog magazines. And that's pretty much it. We're all set. It looks pretty good. And then we come to the ads. Now for all my ads, I like to do a page post. And you can find the page post over here, which is under the create and manage. And you just make the ad on page post. But once you do that, you want to come over here and just use existing post. And basically just set this all up and just select the post. This post is for my group, my own group, and if you haven't already, do join that group. The link will be down in the description below. But you just want to select the post from here. Let's say we're doing this one. Make sure that your post is 1000 by 1000. The dimensions matter a lot when it comes to ads. And if you want to give the customers a good experience with your ads, you want to make sure it's optimized correctly for mobile phones, and the best dimensions are 1000 by 1000. But once that's done, you should be ready to go. And just click save and you should be done. So this is exactly how I do my targeting for all my ads, and the exact way how I find my success. If you guys did enjoy this video, be sure to click the like button and also be sure to subscribe because I'm providing value basically every day.